Alpen Pharmaceuticals in association with Higher Secondary Principals Forum.
Good morning, students. I am Mrs. Deepa Yu. I teach physics at Our Lady of the Rosary Higher Secondary School, Donapola. I am going to teach you the lesson, that is the 8th chapter, Electromagnetic Waves. You have already listened to the lectures on the first chapter, Electric Charges and Fields, second chapter, Potential and Capacitance, and third chapter, Current Electricity. This chapter is also there for your first formative test, and it carries only 2 marks. Another interesting thing about this chapter is there are no derivations at all in this chapter. But of course, there are some equations, there are few formulae, and this is the most important topic in this time, the time of crisis, COVID time. Why? Because you are able to see me, you are able to listen to me due to the knowledge of these waves, due to the application of these waves. Yes? For without the help of these waves, living in this time, attending the classes in this time would have been impossible. For let us all be grateful to all those who gave us this idea, the applications of these waves, who discovered these waves, studied about these waves, and made into all these practical uses. Okay? Let us go to the chapter. In this chapter, the first 2 articles, that is 8.1 and 8.2, is not there for evaluation for the Goa board exam. Therefore, what you have to concentrate is on article 8.3 and 8.4 and stick to the NCERT book. The knowledge in my lecture also I have stuck to the NCERT book, though there are many other informations I could have shared with you. Okay, let us begin. Yes, light is an electromagnetic wave. What is wave motion? Last year you have studied. It is the mode of transfer of energy from one point to the other point. Yes? By the repeated oscillations of the material of the medium. But here, what is oscillating in an electromagnetic wave? And also, last year you have studied there are 2 types of waves, wave motion, transverse wave and longitudinal. Okay? Therefore, this I am not going into detail of that, you have already studied in the 11th standard wave motion chapter. Yes, electromagnetic wave is a transverse wave in which electric and magnetic fields are oscillating in mutually perpendicular directions, and it is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So, what is oscillating? Not the particle of the medium like your water wave or waves on a rope. It is electric field and magnetic field. What is an electric field? You have already studied in the first chapter. An electric field, usually represented by E, now you are familiar with that, is a region of space where an electric charge will experience a force. Which force? force of electrical origin. Then, what is a magnetic field? It's the same thing like electric field. It's the region of space where a magnet will experience a force of magnetic origin. Now, after this first 3 chapters of electricity, the next chapter you are studying magnetism, magnetic field, magnetism, and there is a lot of similarity between magnetic field and electric field, and they are very much similar to the most familiar field to us. Which is the most familiar field? Yes, gravitational field. So, gravitational field is what? It is the region of space where you experience, U means any object with mass experience a force of gravitational attraction. Okay? Now, see the figure here. The electric field there is shown by red. The direction of propagation of the wave is shown by the arrow. You can take it as the x-axis. If the wave is moving along x-axis, the electric field is vibrating along which axis? Y. And magnetic field is vibrating like this along Z axis. Another figure there. You can take this as the x-axis, this as the y-axis, this as the z-axis. Red one is electric field oscillating along y, blue is the magnetic field oscillating along z-axis, and the wave is moving along x-axis. Direction of propagation is x, electric field E is along y, and magnetic field it is represented by B. Okay? B is along the z-axis. So, you know x, y and z are perpendicular to each other. Now, this is a revision of your last year's knowledge. Basic thing about waves. Look here. This shows you the displacement of the last year we studied of the particles of the medium. Okay? And this shows the direction of propagation of wave. This is the amplitude. What is amplitude? The maximum displacement from the mean position. Okay? And what is the time period? It is the time taken to complete one full oscillation. One full oscillation, when the particle completes, one full wave is produced. Okay? And this is crest, this is trough. Therefore, the time period here is how much? From here to here, that is 0.4 seconds. And the frequency, how do you define frequency? The number of oscillations in 1 second. That means, in another words, one oscillation produces one wave. Therefore, frequency can also be defined as the number of waves produced in 1 second, which is also given by the frequency. Sometimes we use other letters, nu and all, it is coming in the other slide. 1 upon T, which is 1 upon 0.4, it is 2.5 hertz. The unit of frequency is hertz. Then, the velocity of the wave, speed of the wave. Last year's knowledge, this is just a revision. Velocity is equal to lambda into frequency. Therefore, now, lambda, the wavelength is velocity upon frequency, and here they have written the speed of transferring energy. Basically wave motion means transferring of energy. Yes, so that is speed. If speed is 10, you get 10 upon 2.5, the wavelength is 4 meters. And what is wavelength? Length of a wave. This is one full wave. What is this length? Is the wavelength. For the distance between, it can be the distance between two consecutive crests, two consecutive troughs, etc. Okay, therefore you remember all these things as we proceed. Okay, now we go to some equations. The equation of an electromagnetic wave, you have to understand these equations thoroughly because problems will come based on this. Consider the equation of one dimensional simple harmonic progressive wave. Last year you have studied that. Equation is A sin omega t minus 2 pi x upon lambda. Here what is y? It is the displacement of a particle at any instant t, at any distance x from the origin. Last year's knowledge. Omega is the angular frequency, which is 2 pi nu. Nu is the frequency. Lambda is the wavelength. Yes. Therefore, this is the expression for simple harmonic one dimensional progressive wave. And our light wave is that only. Just I am changing it to this form. Look here. This minus sign I took outside and I wrote kx minus omega t. What is k? I substituted k, that is the coefficient of x from this, that is 2 pi upon lambda. That is the usual way it is written, and k is called wave vector or propagation vector. K is the magnitude of the wave vector, or it is also called propagation vector. Okay? Therefore, what is k? 2 pi upon the wavelength lambda. Now look here. This minus sign, sign of negative theta, negative sin theta, that does not make a difference to this. Only thing is that when y is positive, the particle is going up. When it is negative, it is coming down. That is all. Anyway, it is oscillating. And we are interested only in the magnitude. Now, see here, what is oscillating? Not the particle of the medium. It is electric field and magnetic field. Well, look here. The equation of electric field, which is vibrating along x direction in an electromagnetic wave, which is moving along z direction. Now, you may think why I am changing all these things, because these are the things in the textbook, and let us follow the textbook sincerely. Okay. The only difference is this y, the particle was oscillating along y axis. Here we are taking that the electric field is oscillating along x axis. That is why Ex. Okay? Then here the wave is moving along x axis, here the wave is moving along z axis. Clear? For the formula is Ex is equal to E naught sin kz minus omega t. Okay? What is E naught? E naught is in the place of A, that is the amplitude of the wave. So, E naught is the amplitude, that is the maximum displacement of the electric field. Then, if the electric field is oscillating along x axis, the only way to oscillate for the magnetic field is what? Y, because the wave is moving along z, no? So, all these three things cannot be along the same direction. They are always mutually perpendicular. So means if the wave is coming like this, out of the board, your electric field and magnetic field will be like this on the board. Okay? If the wave is coming like this, electric field will be like this, magnetic field will be like this. And here the wave is coming along z axis, electric field is along x, magnetic field is along y. See, this part is the same, sin kz minus omega t is the same in both the equations, no change. Only what is changing? E0, B0. So they are the, this is the magnitude of electric field, this is the magnitude of magnetic field. Remember, electric field and electric field intensity, we use the same way. So actually it is the strength of the electric field, intensity of the electric field. This is the strength of the magnetic field. So you will be learning wherever you use E in electric field, you will be using B in magnetic field. Okay? Be familiar with these two equations. We will do problems using this later. Next is relationship between the electric and magnetic fields and the speed of light. So before I show you, let me just do some calculation. What is the constant we are using in electric field? Electric field due to a point charge. You have this formula, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q upon r square. In all the formulas in electrostatics, you have come across this epsilon 0. What is it? The permittivity of free space. Similarly, in B, there is a constant mu 0. We will be studying it in magnetism chapter. So this is called the permittivity of free space. This is called permeability of free space. Free space means vacuum, and we take most of the things, vacuum and air more or less the same. And you know the value of epsilon 0, how much it is? 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. This another way to solve your problems, you must have already used this method. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Therefore, epsilon 0 can be written as 1 upon 4 pi into 9 into 10 raised to 9. Okay, you must have used this method, it becomes easier to work out with the numbers. Similarly, mu 0, I am writing here, okay, mu 0 value is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. You will be learning it. See, something is important, this 4 pi there is 4 pi here. Let's simply multiply the constants of electric and the magnetic fields. What are you getting? 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into 1 upon 4 pi into 9 into 10 raised to 9. Okay? 4 pi cancels. You are getting 1 upon 9 into 10 raised to 16. What is special about this number? If I write it this way, it's correct, no? And what is this? The most important number? Yes, it's the speed of light. Speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8. See how they are related mathematically also. Once you multiply the constant of magnetic field and electric field, you are getting speed of light. Means of course reciprocal of square of speed of light. Something very interesting now. Yes. So let's see. And there are other formulae also which you must remember. Yes. The ratio, this is the relationship just now what we proved, C square is 1 upon mu 0 absolute 0. Here we did mu 0 into absolute 0 as 1 upon C square. It is the same thing. Okay. Then mu 0 and absolute 0 are the constants for magnetic and electric field respectively. Permeability of space and permittivity. Electric field is permittivity, magnetic field is permeability. You will be learning it. Then in a material medium, rather than air or vacuum, the permittivity is epsilon and permeability is mu. The formula, you know the velocity of light in water or say in glass, it is different from that in air, no? So that is what we are writing. It will be V square upon mu into epsilon. So problems can come based on this also. And here this relationship is very important. The amplitude of electric field and the amplitude of magnetic field. If you take the ratio, you are getting the speed of light. Okay? So these are the important formulae you must remember. More formulae which you are familiar with. Okay. See, the speed of light is equal to nu lambda. Last year's knowledge it is, where nu is the frequency, lambda is the wavelength. Which is also you can prove that it is omega upon k. What is omega? 2 pi into frequency. K is 2 pi upon lambda. Therefore, omega upon k will be 2 pi into frequency upon 2 pi upon lambda, which you are getting nothing but nu lambda. Another way to solve problems. Okay. Then the next formula what you must remember is the energy density of electric field. This you have studied in capacitors. The energy stored in the parallel plate capacitor, you did derivation. Then you studied energy density, energy stored per unit volume. But the formula is this, half epsilon 0 E square. Then the energy density of magnetic field, see wherever epsilon 0 is there, you will have mu 0. Because usually in our formulas, epsilon 0 is in the denominator. Here it is in the numerator, therefore mu 0 will be in the denominator. That is all. Formula is half b square upon mu 0. You will study this. Okay? Therefore, now you do not have to worry about these two equations of energy. Then, an electromagnetic wave carries energy and momentum and it exerts pressure called radiation pressure. Wave is having energy. So, when it falls somewhere, it will exert pressure. Then, another formula, the total momentum delivered to a surface when electromagnetic waves fall on it and it is fully absorbed. Falls it, see suppose the light is falling on it and it is fully absorbed. The momentum is given by U upon C, where U is the total energy transferred to the surface in a time t. And you know C is very large. What is its value? 300,000 kilometers per second. 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. Therefore, see, this is going to be very large, therefore, this momentum will be very small. So, that is why when light falls on us, we are not feeling that pressure as if somebody is pushing you. Clear? This shows you the range of electromagnetic waves which I have taken from the textbook only. It is a textbook table. Look here. This is a family of electromagnetic waves starting from gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwaves, short radio waves, television FM radio, AM radio, long radio waves. What is FM? Everybody knows. Frequency modulation, your radio 93.5, sorry, FM, like that. Now, what you have to remember is, as see the frequency, here it is written, gamma rays are having frequency up to 10 raised to 23 and hertz, and the lowest value is 10. Similarly, the wavelength of gamma rays is 10 raised to minus 14, very small. Wavelength smallest, frequency highest. You remember the relationship? C is equal to nu lambda. For when frequency decreases, lambda increases. For always remember this, nu lambda, frequency decreases, lambda increases. Why? Because C is a constant. Now, this is another interesting figure. You don't have to by heart these numbers and all, but I thought it will be nice to put here. Look there. From gamma ray to radio waves, see what is happening to the wavelength. Here the wavelength is the shortest, waves are very close, and as you go here, gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwave, radio. So, the waves are moving apart, which means what? The wavelength is increasing here, radio waves wavelength are increasing. And see this figure, this is that towers in Malaysia, twin towers. If that shows radio waves, human beings will be between radio and micro. And see the visible range, the size of protozoan, and then gamma ray will be size of the atomic nuclei, I mean wavelength size, they are talking about the size of the wavelength. Wavelength decreases from the size of twin towers to the size of atomic nuclei. Atomic nuclei size is approximately 10 raised to minus 15 meters. Okay. Then this is the frequency. So, as the wavelength decreases, what is happening to the frequency? Frequency increases. We can calculate what will be the frequency of gamma ray. If you know, this also comes sometimes, 1 mark question, very simple questions come. Okay? If the wavelength is 10 raised to minus 12 meters, what will be the frequency? Frequency is C upon lambda. How much? 20. Approximately of the order of 10 raised to 20 will be the frequency. So, do not forget these type of calculation, simple. Then, this is showing the temperature, objects at which the radiations are, is the most intense wavelength emitted. Means gamma rays, you need very high temperature, and radio waves, very low temperature. This is another figure. and it is showing our visible light. It's such a small range of this full family, full electromagnetic spectrum. More facts about EM waves. See, stationary charges produce electric field. This you have studied in your first chapter. Charges in uniform motion, that is current. Current produces magnetic field, which is your fourth chapter you are going to study. Then, what produces electromagnetic wave? Accelerated charges. Not charges stationary, not the charges which are moving, means not steady current. What is producing electromagnetic waves? Accelerated charges. This had come 1 year 4 board question paper. Then, the frequency of the electromagnetic wave is the frequency of the source. Frequency of all waves, not only electromagnetic wave, frequency of all the waves will be the frequency of the source, what is producing it. Okay? Therefore, it is the frequency of oscillation of the charge. See, once the charge is oscillating, it is getting accelerated. Okay? For the frequency of oscillation of the charge will be same as the frequency of the electromagnetic wave. For which source will be oscillating faster? Source of gamma ray or source of radio waves? Gamma rays, no, because its frequency is the highest. They will be oscillating very fast. We saw here 10 raised to 20 times in 1 second. Gamma ray source. Okay? Then, the energy associated with the propagating wave comes from the energy of the charge. From where else it can come? Okay? Energy is from the source. Then, history. Of course, this is not there for your exam, but I feel it's our duty to remember the people who worked behind it. Okay? For the first person was Hertz. Before that, actually, it was Maxwell. It is there in your textbook, but it is not there for your exam. Theoretically, he predicted it, and Hertz, he is a German physicist. He produced electromagnetic waves in the laboratory. Which year? 1887. Then we also have contributed, our Indians. How many people know about this scientist? Jagdish Chandra Bose, our Indian, from Calcutta that time, now it is Kolkata. Yes, he produced electromagnetic waves of shorter wavelength. This Hertz was very long wavelength, okay? And the wavelength what Jagdish Chandra Bose produced was 25 millimeter to 5 millimeter. But you know, that didn't become famous. He kept his results hidden. Hidden means hidden. Those days there is no internet facilities. Phone also was not there. He had done the experiment. He had got the result. He had produced the waves, but nobody knew about it. Okay. Then comes Marconi. What was his victory? He not only produced the electromagnetic waves, but he could transmit it over some kilometers. And we have to say a big thanks. We have to be grateful to these people. Because of them, we are able to communicate now. You are able to study in this time. Otherwise, what you would have been doing? Okay. Now, this marked the beginning of communication using electromagnetic waves. Okay. Now, you know Hertz, we are honoring him. What? Our unit of frequency is Hertz. But now in your syllabus and all, we are not honoring what? Jagdish Chandra Bose or Marconi. Of course, there is bosons and all, but not for you to study. Okay. Now, what is there next to you? just now I discussed the article 8.3 from the NCERT textbook. This is article 8.4. It is the production and uses of all the electromagnetic waves. And what you should do, each and every line of this topic from the textbook you must know. It's only 2 pages. So read and read and read and be thorough with it. So many questions will come based on them. And this is whatever is there in the textbook, that only I have written here. I have not gone beyond. And first thing, we are starting with radio waves, the longest wavelength waves. And using the radio waves only, now we are communicating. How are they produced? Produced by accelerated motion of charges in conducting wires. All of you know this? I took radio only, not your mobile phones, not your laptop, okay? Because this was the first thing, no? And this is the aerial. All of you must have seen it. Now the aerial in our phone is how big? We are not even able to see it. Okay? The technology has advanced so much that you can make aerial so small. It's a different technology now. It's not exactly this. I am telling you, the present technology is different from what is shown here, but these things are there in your textbook, therefore I am sticking to it. Okay? So here, changing currents in the transmitter. You have seen these type of transmitters, our Doordarshan transmitter, yes? Then waves are coming, your radio is receiving it, you get the program. Now your phone, your laptop, your TV, basic principle is the same. Okay? And the topic communication using electromagnetic waves is a very vast topic. Now, uses don't have to say, everybody knows. Communication systems, radio, television, mobile phones, and many more. You must have seen the towers, no, mobile. You are not getting the range now, many of you. Why? Because there is no tower near your, locality. What is the tower doing? It's catching these waves, amplifying them, and sending to your mobiles. Okay, we will discuss it later. Let me go to the next one, microwaves. Microwaves are having wavelength less than radio waves. Yes? And they are produced by special vacuum tubes. And the names you just have to by heart: klystron, magnetron, or gun diodes. The technology of it is very complicated, and I have just put a picture here. It looks like this. They are very small actually. So see, I am telling you, you don't have to learn the details of these diagrams. Okay, just to show you, I have inserted these diagrams. Okay, now uses microwaves. First thing you will say, microwave oven. Yes, of course, microwave ovens. What is happening inside microwave ovens? You keep the food, okay? Then what is actually happening, no? In that oven, they produce microwaves. See, it's a range of frequencies. But they adjust the frequency of the microwave in such a way that it becomes equal to the frequency of water molecules or fat molecules. Okay? Now last year you have studied when two frequencies match, what happens? Resonance happens, and resonance means amplitude of vibration is the highest, maximum energy is absorbed. Yes? Therefore, that water absorbs maximum energy, it gets heated, and as the water gets heated, the food particle also gets heated. So this is the principle of working of microwave ovens. Basically, the frequency of microwave is made equal to the frequency of water molecule. Okay? Then, it's also used in radar systems. You have studied in 11th standard. Radio navigation and ranging, detection and ranging. Radar is radio, detection and ranging. Like from the aircraft, they send the waves, it hits the other planes or whatever it is and returns back, and they see the time and identify where the objects are. Okay? Then it is also used in speed guns. You must have seen whenever we see the matches, cricket matches and all, how precisely they are telling speed of the ball. Tennis serve, speed of the ball. That's all using microwaves. And another thing, there are you can say millions of uses, but I have taken only the textbook examples. Okay? Your Wi-Fi at home, many mobiles are using microwaves. This Wi-Fi modem, everything is microwave only. There are so many, I am not going into those things. Again I am telling you, sticking to the textbook. Yes, next is infrared waves. They are also called heat waves. Why? Any hot body emits infrared rays. Okay? Any hot body, and uses of infrared rays, infrared lamps are used during physiotherapy. They put something like this and you feel hot. Yes? Otherwise also when you have a back pain, you keep that hot water bag. What is coming out from that hot water bag is infrared rays, which heats up. Then it is responsible for greenhouse effect. In school you have learnt. Look here what is happening. From the sun, the rays are coming, the earth absorbs them, okay, and the earth emits also. Earth is emitting the rays, but all the rays do not go out. Part of it is reflected back. Why they are reflected back? Because of your blanket. Yes? Chlorofluorocarbons, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, all those things. They are in general called greenhouse gases. So because they reflect the waves, what happens? The atmosphere of the earth during night remains warm. And this phenomena is called greenhouse effect. You must have studied it minimum 4 times in 4 classes, right from maybe 5th standard. How the earth's atmosphere remains warm at night. Okay. Then now we know too much of greenhouse gases, therefore what happens? Too much of reflection of waves for too hot, global warming. Yes. Okay. And then this infrared detectors are used in artificial satellites. Last year you have studied polar satellites, geostationary satellites. So they are used in many military purposes, agriculture purposes. Yes, to know the growth of crop and the weather forecast, everything these waves are used. Of course, your remote switches, TV, that is what is it emitting? Infrared rays. And that's why we cannot see it, no? Then doors, you go near a door, door opens automatically. You go near a tap, keep your hand, water flows. If it was olden days, people would have thought that it's a magic. But now you know what is happening. Near the door, there were some rays passing. As we are standing there, we are blocking those rays. When the rays are blocked, some circuit is on and it's adjusted in such a way that either the door opens or water flows or burglar alarm. You must have heard about it. The alarm rings. Okay. Everything is use of infrared rays. Infrared, that is after red. Wavelength is more than red color. Then our visible spectrum. Visible light. Here is infrared, you can say. This is red, starting with 740 nanometer wavelength to 625, and this side is violet. Okay? And use of visible light, I don't have to tell you. That's see, we are so limited, our abilities. We can see only this range of the wavelength. You know, snakes can see much more. Other animals, insects can see much more. I mean, they can detect the waves of a very high range. Yes, next is after violet comes ultraviolet rays. And how are they produced? Special lamps, ultraviolet lamps, you must have seen now UV lamps. Can we see them? Can we see the light coming from UV lamps? No. Okay. And the source of UV rays, temperature is approximately 4800 degrees. Can you produce? You can produce. But will we be able to stand near it? Okay. And the uses? They are used in this LASIK eye surgery. You must have heard about it. Now laser surgery, no? Mainly they use ultraviolet rays. Why? It can be focused into very narrow beams. And you can do very, high precision instruments to do these surgeries. Then, water purifiers to kill germs. You must have seen, no? AquaGuard, there they write UV protection, AquaGuard, UV protected water, means purified water. Then, UV rays only are causing production of melanin in our skin. That's what when you go out, there is, what is that you apply? Sunscreen. You must have seen, no? UV, look at this. There are different ranges, UVA, UVB. Therefore, if you put UVB sunscreen, you will be protecting yourself from this range of wavelength. UVA, this range. Now see this point, water purifiers to kill germs. People are just doing research now whether UV rays can kill coronavirus. So far no positive result. The thing is that UV rays are harmful to us also, human body. Well, let's see what people will come out with to fight coronavirus. Okay. Now this shows what? Ultraviolet rays coming from sun. See, sun emits ultraviolet rays because its temperature is this much. Now, see, as it is coming, these are the layers of the atmosphere. Now see, this ozone layer blocks the ultraviolet rays. Lower the wavelength, it blocks more. And this wavelength and all can reach. Therefore, these ultraviolet rays are what we are getting tanned and all, which are reaching the ground surface. Okay. Vitamin D production. Next is X-rays. Everybody knows the use of X-rays. X-ray source, keep the hand. You know the discovery of X-ray, no? Accidental discovery. Who discovered X-ray? Okay, Rontgen. We will not go to that. Yes. Now, how is it produced? Very important. Everybody must have seen X-ray production instrument. No? How many of you were lucky or unlucky to see the X-ray machine breaking your bones? Let's see. Okay, it's produced basically by bombarding metal targets with high energy electrons. In that your big X-ray machine, no? This high energy electrons are coming and bombarding the metal target. Okay? Then uses, you know, diagnostic tool and medical treatments, all your scanning, CT scan, MRI scan, okay? Some use ultrasound waves also. Then to check the interior of certain machine parts. Then also in the treatment of cancer, they use, no, for radiations. Then the last is gamma rays. Gamma rays are produced by radioactive nuclei during nuclear reactions. Okay? There is a chapter on radioactivity for you in the second book. That time you will be studying in detail. And what is its use? It's used in medicine to destroy cancer cells. It's very dangerous. Of course, gamma ray, X-rays, gamma rays, all are blocked by the ozone layer. If they were coming, it would have been so dangerous to us. And now you must have heard about holes forming in the ozone layer. Okay? Therefore, we have to prevent the formation of holes in the ozone layer. That's the last member of the electromagnetic wave family. Now, points to remember. This is very important. All the members, it's a big family, but one thing they are all agreeing with. They never change. What is that? That is what is making a family. All travel with the same speed in vacuum or air. And what is the speed? 300,000 kilometers per second. 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. Okay? This is common. What is common in the family? The speed of motion. Then, from radio waves to gamma rays, the wavelength is decreasing. Already we discussed, but I am just stressing it again. So, when the wavelength decreases, frequency increases. Okay? And when the frequency increases, the energy of the wave increases. So, there are so many application questions. We will discuss a few based on this. Okay? So, remember these points. Then the last thing is, therefore, the gamma rays are having the highest frequency, therefore, highest energy. And lowest energy is what? Radio waves. If radio waves were having highest energy, what would have happened? Now, here everywhere around us, there are billions of radio waves. Yes? Now, these are the another questions which you can answer from that article 8.4, the uses and application of the waves. Okay? How does food get cooked in microwave ovens? It's there in the textbook. I already explained. What is greenhouse effect? What is the range of wavelength to which human eyes are sensitive? One cannot get tanned through glass windows. Why? Actually, you are using it. You are getting tanned using which waves? Because of which waves? Ultraviolet rays, no? And these ultraviolet rays cannot pass through glass. Glass blocks it. Of course, ultraviolet rays which are reaching on surface of earth. Therefore, if you wear glass or you are sitting inside the house, you won't get tanned. Even if you are sitting near a glass window. Okay? So, the answer is ultraviolet rays cannot pass through glass. Then, what is the importance of ozone layer in our atmosphere? Already we discussed. Why is overexposure of X-rays harmful? Already we discussed. Okay? Write down the answers. Okay? This is a table from behind your textbook. Just summarizes all the waves, their wavelength range and how they are produced. Detection is not there. It means you won't be asked a question on detection. It's there in your textbook, right from your textbook. This is some procedure of your LASIK eye surgery. No need to remember, I just wanted to show you how they do. Now, let us do a few board exam questions which has come. And I want to do this question, you know why? This is the question which came this board exam, that is March 2020. This question, it was for 2 marks. How will we solve it? See, E is equal to 3 cos. Don't worry, in our equations we have used sine, doesn't matter if it is cos. 1.8y minus 5.4 into 10 raised to 60 I Newton per Coulomb. Okay. What is the direction of the magnetic field vector? Yes, Now, first of all, let's see what is the direction of propagation. Direction of the wave is always what is the argument of the sine or cos function. So, see what is this? It's y, okay, different from what we discussed. It's 1.8 y. Therefore, the direction of, they have not asked it, but still we will write, is y. Direction of propagation of the wave is y. The direction of E is what? E, they have not written Ex or Ey or Ez like how we have written in that formula. But here it is given I cap. I cap shows what? X axis, positive x axis. Okay? Therefore, direction of B will be what? We know all three things should be different. Therefore, if propagation is y, E is along x, B will be along, has to be along, yes, z axis. So, it has to be z. But actually that is not there in your syllabus, it will be negative z axis. So, we are using the formula here, C is equal to E cross B, and that do not have to know, if you write z axis is enough. Okay? Then even z axis you will get 1 mark. Next thing, propagation of electromagnetic wave, already we answered, the propagation of electromagnetic wave is y. I want to do little more on this problem. Suppose they are asking you what is the frequency of this wave in the same question. Okay, how will you do frequency? Your omega is what in this problem? Those type of questions also come. 5.4 into 10 raised to 6. So, omega is 2 pi into nu. So, your frequency will be 5.4 into 10 raised to 6 upon 2 pi. So, like this question can come. 1 mark question. What is wavelength? How will you do wavelength? Your k value, they have given it as 1.8. For k is nothing but 2 pi upon lambda, that is 1.8. You can calculate lambda. Otherwise also you can calculate lambda. How? You already know the frequency. Okay? C is equal to nu lambda, speed. Okay. So, like that problems can come based on these equations. Then another common type of question which can come from this chapter. This I think it came in 2017 board exam, 17 no, 18 I think, whatever it is. Okay, identify the part of the electromagnetic spectrum represented by the following wavelengths and arrange them in the descending order of wavelength. It is a very common question, either descending order of wavelength, ascending order of wavelength, descending order of frequency, ascending order of frequency, anything can come. Okay? For one I will do here. That is, see what is the first one? L1, produced by bombarding a metal target with high energy electrons. So, which wave is that? L1 is X-rays. Therefore, what you should do? First, identify each wave and then we will arrange. Second one, L2, produced by klystron and magnetron, trons, something new for you. Yes, that is which? Microwave. So, L2 is and L3 produced by vibrations of atoms and molecules. Vibrations of atoms and molecules, infrared. For L3 is, that's why I was telling. See, you must be thorough with the production and uses. Question will come like this. For this is all about production. Same way they can say, instead of saying L1 produced by bombarding, they say L1 is used for scanning. L2 is used for timing the tennis serves. L3 is used in physiotherapy. So that way they can give uses also and then tell you to write it in either ascending order or descending order. Now in this what you have to do first, it's descending order, no? So descending means the highest you should write first. Highest wavelength. For among these, which is highest wavelength? For L2 is the highest. Microwaves are, wavelength is more than infrared. Then L3, then X-rays. So here among the waves given, you have to say, not any other waves. Among the, first of all you identify the waves and then find out if it is descending order of wavelength, start from the highest wavelength. Okay? If it is ascending order of wavelength, start from the lowest wavelength. For the highest wavelength is microwaves, then comes infrared, then comes X-rays. Same question, instead of saying descending order of their wavelength, they can say descending order of the frequencies or descending order of energy. Remember, energy is proportional to the frequency. Frequency is more means energy is also more. So this is a typical question. Many questions you can see this way. Then this way also another type of question. Name the electromagnetic wave which are produced by magnetron, already we applied, microwaves, and radioactive decay, gamma rays. And that's it. Comes to the end of this chapter. All the best for all your exams. Do well and also all the best for a bright future. Thank you, students.
Prudent Scholars, powered by Lupin Pharmaceuticals.